Sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Had to come into the office today, so I thought I'd check in with some afternoon Wood. I'm a little late getting my thoughts together on the 7th. I believe it's the 7th episode of Apple TV Plus's series Severance. It's called Defiant Jazz. I got a few thoughts on it, just four maybe from the episode. I'm really not going to recap it, or I will do so in talking through my observations. But quickly, I'm not really an approval junkie or an attention whore, an attention junkie or whatever. It just gets a little confusing and fooling with the algorithm. So, I got to ask, I would love any input on the series. I'm not really saying that I know the show inside and out. But I am looking for, engagement. Like the video. I'm not asking nobody to share it, but I feel like we're in this day and age, like if you don't agree with all 100% of the public's opinion or an individual's opinion on something, then there's this huge rift between us. There's this huge affront that I committed in not agreeing with the 5th point or the 10th point. So quickly before I get into these points, I saw this thing about Einstein a couple of weeks ago on social media. It kind of speaks to my point, because I review albums, songs, and you talk about stuff, and you say, you question one thing and you're the ops, or you don't know what the hell you're talking about. But anyway, this Einstein thing, I don't know if this is true or not. The story makes sense. I don't know if it's a true story. But Einstein, allegedly, in some world, in some time and space, he wrote 10 multiplication problems on a board. And it was 9 times 1, 9 times 2, 9 times 3, all the way up to 9 times 10. And for that one, he put 91 instead of 90. And he turned around and the class laughed at him, because here's this dude who's supposed to be a genius, but you missed this simple multiplication problem that he did intentionally. And supposedly the point in the story was, he told the people that, you laughed at me for my one mistake, but none of you thought to congratulate me for getting 9 out of 10 correct. None of you thought that my 90% accuracy or 90% correction rate or whatever, none of you thought to congratulate me on that, or go along with, or note that about me. You immediately went to the one thing that I messed up, and that's where you wanted to make our relationship with one another about that one issue. And that's kind of what you get out here in the world today. So moving on to Severance, Defiant Jazz. I think it's only 9 episodes in this series, so we got 2 more. Interestingly, I looked at Rotten Tomatoes. It's at 97% for the critics. It's at 90% for the general public, the everyday Joes and Marys or whatever. And I think that's a pretty interesting score for a show that really hasn't given us a ton to work with, but I do think it's been a smart show. I do respect the world that they've built. Interestingly, this is one show, I don't know about you, but for movies, TV shows, one detail that I like to fill in very early is, what city is this? I don't really know. Maybe I missed a couple of license plates or something, but I don't know where the hell we're located. And for some reason, I'm assuming Minnesota or Wisconsin or something. I don't know. It's been snowing. It's been cold the whole time. But it's really killing me not to know where the hell Lumen is located. So a couple of things. We get the big reveal. We finally get a couple of big reveals. We see where, I can't even remember my man's name, the guy with the dark hair, the other security guy. I cannot remember his name. I don't think it's a common last name. But he gets killed in the episode by Ragabi when he goes to to Gans College, I think, Gans Community College or something. He ends up getting killed there by Ragabi. when he walks in on Mark and Ragabi, which was the big reveal from the previous episode. But Ragabi gives Mark S the his security card and says, use it. You know, go back there and start snooping around. So that was one big reveal, was that, and I said it a couple episodes ago, we were gonna get a big piece from finding out where the dark-haired security guy goes. And so what they went and did was they took another field trip, another prohibited field trip, and they went to the security room, and because Dylan has told them, hey, they can remotely initiate Severance. So they go to the room, and you see all this other stuff is going on, and you get an idea of how far-reaching Lumen's Severance stuff might be. It might not just be only on the campus. We said the senator's wife, she was acting bugged out to Devin a while ago, a couple episode or two ago. So there does seem to be, it's like some frequency that they can put out there. They can turn it on and off remotely, and it can be innies outside. So that was one big reveal. The other reveal is that Gemma, Mark's deceased wife, is actually Miss Casey, who Miss Casey has been weird the entire time anyway. So that was the other big reveal of this episode. And another big cliffhanger that keeps us, despite the fact they've been piecemealing this information to us, it's like, now I got to see where it goes because you gave me something. Along with that, why does it seem, what my major question with the show at this point is, why is Mark, he is the protagonist and whatnot, and the lead character, but what is Lumen's interest in him as an individual? Because it's only him and Harmony or Coble who live in that corporate housing that they stay in. They're the only two people that live there, and she's constantly monitoring him. Coble has also been interacting with Devin, Mark's sister. So why are they, and now Miss Casey is his ex-wife. So what's the significance of Mark before we met him? What was Mark's prominence prior to the first episode when we were introduced to Mark? Why do they care so much about him? There doesn't seem to be anything distinct about him or anything important, but they have him under their thumb so much. So that's my other reaction here. The other thing is, I really didn't give a lot of credence or thought to Dylan or to the innies. I know Helly has been bugging, since we met Helly, but I really didn't give much consideration to what I see play out here with Dylan during the MDE, the musical dance experience or whatever, and even what's been going on with Irving. But I didn't give a lot of thought to how being on the Severance campus and just doing this one task that you've been given, I didn't really understand how it would create a new person in one person, to make it two people in one person, to really drive home the whole concept of the innie and the outie. But I see now when Dylan attacks Milchek, he just became infuriated by the fact that he found out he had this son, but his innie doesn't know anything about his own child. And it just drives him crazy that, I sit here and I go along with all of this, whatever's going on. I don't ask any questions. I'm excellent at my job. I'm working for all these perks. But now that this one thing has been introduced, it's like shot for him. Now he's really rebellious and wants to be defiant jazz and whatnot. So that really drove home the whole concept for me about where there could be some moral issues with Severance. One thing that I thought just a kind of a small issue with the show is I don't know why Milchek, as detailed as he is, attention to detail as he is, and his role in the company, I just am a little confused at why, or it's bothering me, like Dylan and his child. It's bothering me that they really haven't gone back, and Milchek hasn't tried to recover the book that he left out in the open, because it seems like Ricken's writing and the concepts in his books, it seems like it's a open challenge to everything that Lumen is about. So it's been kind of bothering me that they never really did anything else with that particular detail. But we've been shown the goats and that other employee that's in that small room with the goats. What is the significance of that? What is the significance of the items that O&D makes? Another big change here was that Bert G, Christopher Walken, is going on this retirement. And what prompted that retirement? And does retirement mean that they're gonna kill him? What's going on with that? But yeah, I just think that's kind of my major where I am with the show. Again, the other thing, Alexa. It seems like Alexa is a plant. It seems like, and now that we see Gemma is actually Miss Casey, I gotta believe that there's a reason why Alexa has been so willing to kind of like figure out a way to make it work with Mark. And we saw that they advanced their relationship. They sleep with each other and whatnot. But I gotta, and then she gets up in the middle of the night and was aware that he was gone, and she questions him about it when he gets back. So I don't know if she's in on it or out on it. So they got, a couple of things to bring together in the last couple of episodes. Again, I'm trying to figure out what the hell Lumen does and why so many people. Why is Lumen a matter of national interest? Why are there organizations that are speaking out against Lumen and Severance? Why is Ragabi? Why has she left Lumen and is now reintegrating people as they become available to reintegrate? So, like I said, man, the show is pretty interesting. It's built this really intriguing world that we've been watching now for 7 episodes. It does move a little bit slow. Some of the characters act a little weird, or a lot weird. But all in all, it's held my it's continued to pique my interest week to week. And it's a puzzle that I can't figure out now. So I'm just trying to gather up all these little pieces and try to make heads or tails out of what the hell is going on. But I think it's done a pretty good job. Is it a 90% for me, or is it a 97% for me? I would have to wait until these last 2 episodes to know if it's a great show. It's a good show, but I would be highly disappointed if the conclusion is truly a matter of we had this really great, and this happens before. This has happened with a number of thrillers with a bit of a science fiction or fantasy type thing to it. But we've seen it happen before, to where a creator or the show creator or the series creator has this really unique idea, that we haven't really seen before, and they can turn it into a 2-hour movie, but then the last 10 minutes really didn't live up to the first hour and 50 minutes, or the first or the last episode doesn't live up to the first 8 or 9 episodes or something. So I'm hoping that the last 2 episodes really get to cooking, and it's really a worthy payout. I don't have any reason to believe that that's not gonna happen, but it's got me tuning in, and looking forward to those notifications when a new episode drops. So again, like I said, man, if you have anything that you've noticed, It's going to be very interesting to hear or to find the reveal on if some of these random characters that that are here, if they are a part of the board that Miss Coble might go to talk to. Another very last point. There was a show on Amazon Plus called Counterpart, with the two different worlds, and there was the regular version, and then, or the prime version, and then the second version or whatever. And it was these two dimensions of the world. And it's very that's a very similar parallel. That's a parallel between the two series. Was they used to talk to, on Counterpart, they used to talk through this little ear set, and they would get instructions from somebody, and we didn't know who they were. And now here, that the one receptionist or whatever comes out and is telling Coble or Harmony, the superiors aren't pleased with this and they want to meet with you, and they're telling her the stuff in her ear, and then Harmony leans in and says whatever she has to say. The last thing that's just totally freaking confusing is, what the hell is Kier? And a lot of us work in corporate America, and there's some, principals that drive the company, or some tenants that drive the company, and she knows the theme song, and she's got a lot of weird stuff going on in her office or at her home about who the founders of Lumen is. And like I said, she had the two characters on the pillow that to me represented the founder and his wife or something. Is it religious? Is it a cult? What the hell is it? I don't know. Anyway, that's the end of my lunch break. I got to get on out of here. Again, any type idea, if you know what the hell is going on, or if you've seen some of the episodes or the ending somehow, now I don't want no teasers. I don't want no spoilers. Anyway, pay me no mind, sports and entertainment. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.